how to crochet an easy lace shawl.
To make this beautiful shawl, you'll only need one of my Lacy Cakes. It's a 5-color self-striping center pull ball of Be So Fine yarn, which is a fingering weight bamboo yarn that's hand dyed. You can find more information about it on my website, and I'm going to be using one of my hand painted variegated colorways of Be So Fine yarn for the demonstration today. We're going to start by tying our crochet hook to our yarn onto our crochet hook. You can use a slip knot, a solid knot, whatever works best for you, and then we're going to chain 5 and double crochet into the 5th chain from the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to chain 2 and work a double crochet into that very same chain. Yarn over, insert your hook in the same chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Chain 2, double crochet in the same chain, yarn over, insert your hook in the same chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We want to repeat this until we have 5 chain 2 spaces. The first chain 5 counted as a double crochet chain 2, so that's the first one, second one, third one. We need 2 more. Chain 2, double crochet in that same chain, chain 2, and double crochet in the same chain. Make sure you download my free pattern on my website. The link to that free pattern will be in the video description box below, and it will give you line-by-line instructions for this entire shawl. Okay, we're ready to start row 2. I'll set this down so you can see what row 1 is supposed to look like. Okay, we've got 5 chain 2 spaces. Okay, we're ready to begin row 2. And row 2 is going to start with a chain 5, which counts as a double crochet chain 2. Turn our work, and now we're in that first chain 2 space. We're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. Like that. And in the next chain 2 space, we're going to work double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. In the next chain 2 space, we're going to work double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So in our center chain 2 space, we've now gone from 1 chain 2 space and we've added 3 in the next row. So in our first one we did 2, which is a single increase. Then we did 1 in the next one, 3 chain 2 spaces in the next one, which gave us a double increase. And now the next one we're going to work double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. No increasing whatsoever. And in the last chain 2 space we're going to work 1 single increase. So it's going to be double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. We'll set that down so you can see what row 2 should look like. And believe it or not, even though it looks like we've got a long way to go, you actually have all the instructions you need to complete this shawl. The row 2 is all we repeat for the rest of the entire shawl until we get to the edging. So we're going to start the next row with a chain 5, which counts as a double crochet chain 2. Turn our work, work a double crochet in the next chain 2, in that first chain 2 space, chain 2, and double crochet in that same chain 2 space, like that. Now in each of the next 3 chain 2 spaces, we're just going to work even, no increases, with a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. That was 1, 2, whoops, and 3. Now we're ready to do our double increase in the center chain 2 space, and that's going to be double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, all in that center chain 2 space, so that we have a total of 3 chain 2 spaces in it now. So now we'll go to the next chain 2 space and work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and we'll do that for each of the next 3. And then in our last chain 2 space, we're going to work a single increase, which is a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. Okay, so I'll set this down so you can see what it looks like. So remember how I said we're repeating the same row? What we're doing is a single increase on the first and last chain 2 space and a double increase in the center chain 2 space. And so the number of times we work double crochet, chain 2, double crochet only in the sides is going to grow by 2. And when you go to the free pattern on my website, every line, every row of the pattern will be spelled out explicitly, where it'll tell you to work that double increase, then how many times to do double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then to do the double increase, and then how many times to repeat this on the side, and then to do the double increase or single increase at the last end. So whether you're a beginner or an intermediate crocheter, you absolutely can work this pattern, because if you understand how to do these increases, you're off to the races. And if you don't, that's okay. Just follow each line individually. I'll do this one more time so you can hopefully start to see the pattern. And we're going to chain 5, which is a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the same chain 2 space, chain 2, and double crochet again in that same chain 2 space. And then in the next chain 2 space, we're going to work double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. And that's working the pattern even, so there's no increase there. And in the last row we did that 3 times. We now have to do it 5 times on this row. So the sides are what get repeated more times as you work the pattern. Okay, I worked even for 5 repeats, and now I'm back to my center chain 2 space, and we're going to work a double increase with a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, all in that same chain 2 space. So now we're ready to do the side again, which is to work even, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in each of the next 5 chain 2 spaces. Again, the number of times you do that is going to grow by 2 on every row. The last row we did it 3 times. This row we're doing it 5 times. Okay, and on the last chain 2 space, we're going to work a single increase. It's a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. And set this down so you can see what it looks like. Actually, we'll set it down this way so you can see what it looks like. Okay, I'm going to work that repeat a few more times, and when I have several more rows, then I'll show you how to do the edging. Before I show you how to do the edging on our little sample here, I wanted to show you the finished shawl so you can see what I'm talking about before we do it. So here we have the last row completed on the actual shawl, and what we're going to be doing is putting 4 single crochets into each chain 2 space until we get to the designated chain 2 space where we do a spiked stitch 6 rows below. And what that means is we're going to work a single crochet, and I'll show you as it faces us. So let's say you're working along, working 4 single crochets into each chain 2 space, and then when you get to the designated stitch, you're going to work 1 single crochet in the chain 2 space 6 rows below for that particular repeat. So I'm going to show you how to do that now on our sample. Obviously I won't be going 6 rows below, but I will be showing you the general technique. So what we're going to start with is a chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to work 4 single crochets in the first chain 2 space, and then 4 single crochets into the next chain 2 space, and just follow the pattern along and do this for as many chain 2 spaces as the pattern specifies. Or if you want to do a different number of repeats of the swags, which the swags are created, or the giant scallops are created from those spike stitches, you could do it more often or less often depending on your preference. We'll do one more set of this and then I'll show you how to do that spiked stitch. So we'll work 4 more single crochets in the next chain 2 space. Okay, now when it comes to the point where you need to work a spiked stitch in rows below, we're going to follow that chain 2 space down, and it's going to say in 6 rows below, but I'm going to count back 4 because it makes sense for this swatch. So in the chain 2 space 4 rows below, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, insert our hook into that space, work 1 single crochet, and that's all you do. Okay, so now we want to make sure that we don't miss a row. So when you find the next chain 2 space and follow it all the way back up to the top, and know that that's the next row you want to work in. And we'll work 4 single crochets in that row, or that chain 2 space. Okay, we'll do a couple more of these so that I can put some space between our spiked stitches, and I'll do one more. I think it's really important to follow my tip about how to find the next chain 2 space after your spike. I found that that was probably the most difficult part of doing it at all, was making sure that you stayed on track and didn't skip any chain 2 spaces. So we'll do one more of the, whoops. Okay, so now if we're going to do a spike, well, let's get past this. Yeah, we can do it. We're going to count back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we want to look over to the next chain 2 space and count right back up and start with 4 more single crochets in the next chain 2 space. Okay, and you want to follow that pattern all the way along. And there's also a great video on my YouTube channel showing you how to block this particular shawl. That video link will be in the video description box as well. And then once again, we'll go back to our original shawl, and you can see this beautiful, beautiful scallop. We did 4 single crochets in each of the 12 chain 2 spaces in between swagging with a single crochet in the chain 2 space 6 rows below across the entire last row of the shawl. So make sure you download the free pattern on my website. Again, that link will be in the video description, and you can get all the line-by-line instructions to follow along to make this shawl. Also, I will have links to how to order Lacy Cakes, the 5-color self-striping yarn that I used in this project, as well as links to Be So Fine yarn, which is the same yardage, same weight, and can be used one hank only to make the shawl as well. If you have any questions, by all means, please leave them in the comments, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos.